Big Hits Kool 105, where it's cool to send a kid to Camp TaKumta for Christmas. And this is the big push. We do it every year here at Kool 105, making sure that all the children from Vermont and New York who are treated for their cancers at the University of Vermont Children's Hospital have a place to go where they can put aside the fact that they're patients and just be kids for a little while. No one knows this story better than Dr. Lewis First. You know him from First with Kids on television and radio, and he's in the studio with us right now.
Good morning, John. I was on my way to work to the University of Vermont Children's Hospital, and I cannot drive by this station without stopping by and letting your listeners know what a lifeline Camp TaKumta is to the children, their families, their friends, and to all of us who are fortunate to know these kids at our children's hospital. It is a life-changing experience for all of us.
You see these kids before camp and you see them after camp. What's the difference you see on your end of things, on the medical end of things?
It's transformational. Already, you've had children on the air since you started this year and every year who I remember when they were diagnosed with cancer. I remember how scared they were. I remember how they came into the hospital without a lot of confidence, without a lot of really thinking that they could move forward when they hear the C word cancer. And then I see them before, as I said, before camp, which is just we do everything we can to help these kids begin to gain control in their families, that we can fight this. We can take care of this illness.
Right.
But then we introduce, after a couple of days, because they're not ready, we say, and by the way, there's a very special place that's part of your treatment. It's called Camp TaKumta. And you may have to say that a couple of times. And as you know, some kids are very afraid about going to camp initially. And we work with them, just like you do, to say, trust us, as you've trusted us to treat your cancer. This is part of who you are and who you will always be. And then they go to camp. And I am honored that I get invited to spend some time with the kids who are at camp, and I see the transformation occurring as children who wouldn't tell a joke, who couldn't stand up at the front of their bed in the hospital room and want to talk with us, now yelling and screaming, Dr. First, watch me on the ropes course. Watch me, see what I can do. And seeing the hugs and the cheers from all the campers when somebody who's 6, 7 gets up in the dining room to tell a riddle that they have never sat in front of a crowd of 100 some odd people, and then they bring that back. And when they come back and need to get chemotherapy or visit with us, it is empowering. They talk to other patients and say, it's going to be great. And then you see them grow up. And look what's happened to the campers at a time when this country needs to come together. I got to tell you, deep down, you got to start simple. And that simple is Camp TaKumta. It is such a simple premise. Send a child with cancer to camp and watch what happens as they grow up and change lives.
All you need to know about camp is the number of campers and now the parents that we speak to during this week that kick themselves for not having agreed to come to camp sooner. You know, if you're a kid listening right now who's been told about camp and you're scared, or you're scared as a parent to let your kid go to camp, listen to these campers and their parents say, I wish I had done it my first year.
Well, it's very scary, the amount of vigilance that I know we apply to these families from the moment we know that there is cancer.
Sure.
There's meticulous care that is required. And then to say to parents, by the way, your child's going to go to a camp and be away from you for a week and do things that are normal things that kids do is very, very scary to parents who have been watching their children like a hawk.
863-1051 or 1-800-501-9565. We're talking to Dr. Lewis First. He's on the front lines. He's there when these children are first diagnosed. And you were telling me off air that the need for camp is greater than ever right now.
Well, that's another reason I've stopped by. The past 8 to 10 weeks, our children's hospital has seen more new children diagnosed with cancer than we have ever seen before. It is a record number of children who literally woke up one morning and a throat may have hurt, there may have been a lump in the neck, there may have been belly pain, and they all think it's perhaps a virus, and usually it is. But our floors, our outpatient area, have met a number of new families, and most of these children are age eligible for camp. There are a few young children who will grow into camp, but it has given me great pleasure to be able to say to our oncology team and to the nurses and doctors, let's tell them about camp. And everybody goes, these will be great campers. But the point is, you never know when it's going to happen, and you want to make sure that every child diagnosed with cancer gets not only the right start, but the incredible opportunity to lead a life that will change the lives not only of themselves, but of others. This is an investment in our future. And I know that I may sound passionate. I am passionate. We could not do what we do at our children's hospital without the partnership with Camp TaKumTA. The listeners, the Kool 105 listeners, have to understand that this is a lifeline that is so remarkable for the investment of just sending a child to Camp TaKumTA. This is something that will last forever.
863-1051 or 1-800-501-9565. We're talking to Dr. Lewis First from First with Kids, the Vermont Children's Hospital, the University of Vermont Children's Hospital. I'll get this one of these years, you know.
Well, you've had 21 tries at it, but keep going. Keep going. You're going to get it.
It's changed twice in the years I've been doing this.
True.
So we'll talk with you some more in
great.
a few minutes, all right? It's cool to send a kid to Camp TaKumTA for Christmas.
John, will throw it back to you. I know you've got Dr. First with you in the studio.
That's right. You know him from the University of Vermont Children's Hospital, First with Kids. You see him, he's the king of all media. He's like the Howard Stern of pediatrics.
I don't know whether it's one of the nicest or anyway. Thanks, John. It is a pleasure to be here, and as you know, hearing two more kids going to camp, the smiles, you can't even capture what's happening here at the studio about what that's going to mean to two children who will experience Camp TaKumTA and not have to worry about anything.
Last time you were on with us, you spoke about just how many new cases are being diagnosed of children in the past. I can remember years where we got down to 62, 63 children who needed camp to happen for them. Last year, we were up around 75 kids, and you're saying more are on the way, right?
Those numbers are going to be higher this year. I can almost guarantee it, because we want all of our patients and the new patients who've been diagnosed with cancer in the past month, and there have been a number of them, to really know how special this community is to have Camp TaKumTA. And it's such a remarkable place. It's also about having fun.
Yeah.
I think people need to understand that, as serious as I am about why this is such an important gift to give, to send a child to camp for any amount of money, this is about fun, and it's even growing our doctors. We have doctors in training who come out to Camp TaKumTA to help with the medical care. And one of our doctors, Dr. Kate Ostrander, and Dr. Andrea Tidman, had a stuffed animal, a lion that they called Drake. Do you know why they called the lion Drake?
Drake. I can't think of a reason why. Why would that be?
They would hold the lion up in the dining room and say, "Hey, look, everyone," and everyone would yell, "Hydrate!" And as you know, when you're at camp, you have to stay hydrated.
All day long.
And then the games began, because Drake started to disappear and move from one bunk to the other bunk, and it became an entire "Where's Drake?" And when Drake would appear, everyone would go, "Hydrate!"
Right.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg of why this is such a special place. Now Drake is at camp right now, waiting for the next TaKumTA event.
Awesome. Isn't that fun how something small like that becomes a big thing at camp, and something that the kids will be talking about all year long.
And now I think Drake is a regular camper, and I think that's the best thing of all. It really is about having fun. Some of the kids gave me, for the holidays before I came over here, a few holiday riddles for you.
Uh-oh, here we go. Bart,
are you ready?
Here we go. Holiday riddle time with Dr. First.
All right,
We're ready.
Why does Santa like going down the chimney?
Oh, I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Well, it soots him fine. Now, this is a medley from the kids.
Okay.
Yes, the kids.
What do you call it when Santa? What do you call it, guys, when Santa doesn't like getting stuck in the chimney?
What do you call it?
Claustrophobia.
Oh.
And finally, to finish the trifecta,
hat trick.
Why doesn't Santa get sick from all that soot?
All right, we should think about this for a minute. Why doesn't Santa get sick from all that soot? It's
because he was vaccinated.
Close. He got his flu shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's TaKumTA Comedy Gold.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
But this is what this is about. This is what camp is about.
Yes, it is.
In the midst of of having a child with cancer, you can smile and change lives. So whether it's $5, $500, it doesn't matter. You're contributing to the betterment of this community.
Yeah.
And I'm telling all your listeners, and they're wonderful. If you know a child who's gone to camp, if you know a family of a child who's gone to camp, if you've ever been a child, think about Camp TaKumta at this time of year, and it will last throughout the entire year and for years to come. I see it each and every day when these kids come back to just even say hi and help other kids on our floor because they went to Camp TaKumta.
863-1051 or toll free from Vermont and New York, 1-800-501-9565. We're talking with Dr. Lewis First with Kids, the University of Vermont Children's Hospital. We were talking off air about what the C word does, the cancer diagnosis, does to a family, the family dynamic. And you were saying that in many ways it's like a post-traumatic stress type of situation.
It very much is. These families experience something they never expected, and their lives change. And the people around them, their lives change. Their relationship with people could change. And that's our goal, is not to make that happen. Oftentimes, it's the campers who help the parents and grandparents come through the stress and the trauma of knowing that their child was given an illness that nobody wanted them to have, and that they're going to be dealing with forever. To know that cancer was in their body, we have to get it out and show them that their lives will go on and be as normal as possible. And that takes our incredible team at the University of Vermont Children's Hospital, but it also takes the gifted staff who volunteer their time and effort at Camp TaKumta to not just work with the children, but to work with the parents and the grandparents and the friends and give them strategies for coping and overcoming this post-traumatic stress of realizing their child might die. And that's the goal, is to not have that happen. We take care of it medically, but the mind and body work together, and that mind and the heart are in the soul of Camp TaKumta. And that's why sending a child to camp means everything to me.
We have a family in our neighborhood, and when the mom got back from her first mom's weekend at camp, she says, "I'm completely on board. Everything that my child told me is true, and then some. I'm completely on board, and yes, my husband will be going to Dad's weekend, and my daughter will be going to siblings' weekend," because she was transformed. She goes, I'm here for whatever you need from now on. Boom, done. It's that transformative.
Well, that's just it. Camp treats and takes care of not just the camper, but it's the same way we provide care at the Children's Hospital. You can't just focus on the camper, which is the center of it.
Right.
But everybody that surrounds that child with love has to come into the circle. And Camp TaKumta brings everyone in that circle. It brings the doctors and nurses into that circle. My doing good job cheers over at the hospital is only because I've been fortunate to be invited. And that's an honor for me, to be welcomed into a very private place where these kids and those counselors do not want the world to come in, so they can normalize the world for these kids. And yet I'm privileged to see it, and it goes with me each and every day. For our community, we are blessed to have Camp TaKumta.
863-1051 or toll free from Vermont and New York, 1-800-501-9565. Remember, too, you can drop off your donations at any Jolly convenience store around the region, including coffee for camp this morning at the Jolly Mobile on North Avenue in Burlington and the Williston Road Jolly Mobile on Williston Road and Patchen Road. Either of those locations, you drop off your donation this morning. Your coffee on the way into work is absolutely free. Mark Knight is standing by in the Pledge Center. Mark, what's going on?
$164 away, John, from sending another kid to Camp TaKumta right now. $164 will do it. 863-1051 or 1-800-501-9565. And I just wanted to write down before we go here one more. Santa go down chimney suits him well. Santa not
Suits him well. Spell it right.
Santa not get sick, flu shot.
Right.
Okay.
I've got to run back to the hospital, but I'm going to leave you with one knock-knock.
I was waiting for this.
Very
Okay, good.
Knock-knock.
Yeah.
Who's there?
Wanda.
Wanda who?
Wanted to thank everyone who makes a donation to Camp TaKumta and sends a kid to Camp TaKumta for the holidays. Thank you guys for all you are doing for this community, and thank all of our listeners for what they're doing to sustain Camp TaKumta.
Right back at you, Dr. First.
With Camp TaKumta.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we appreciate it. All right. We'll talk to you soon.